Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a box to open. This is a pretty exciting one. So this actually comes from a buddy of mine who prefers to remain somewhat anonymous. I'm not going to link to his Instagram or anything like that, but it's a friend of mine from the Millie PM2 Para 3 Club on Facebook, and I will link to the Millie Club because not only is it one of my favorite clubs that exist on Facebook for knives, but it's also a club that I'm now a moderator of. I've shared that a couple of times in a few different videos, but really like that club. I think it's at about 10,000 members now on Facebook, and it is of course focused around the Spyderco military PM2 and Para 3, but even if you don't own those knives, even if you're just interested in them, or if you have had them, or as long as you're not really against them, I think you're probably pretty welcome there. We talk a lot about knives in general and all kinds of fun stuff. Anyways, this comes from my buddy Blake in the Millie Club, and he reached out to me a little ways back and asked if I would like to check out these knives, and I said yes. If you've read the title, you'll see that in here is a Spyderco GB1, the Gale Bradley one, and then there is also a, I believe it's the Endela, if I remember correctly, and it's not just any Endela, I think it's the K390 one, so that's exciting. I'm using the, what do we call this, the Rogers Slim Utility, aka the Slut, to go ahead and do this unboxing. I've been having way too much fun making slut puns with this knife. Yesterday in my stories on Instagram, I put a story post up and I put little text next to it. Tap on photo to find local sluts in your neighborhood. Just a lot of fun. Anyway, sometimes I crack myself up. All right, in here we got Spyderco box and Spyderco box. All right, no surprises. I don't know which one to go with first, because I don't know which one is which. This one's lighter. I feel like this is the Endela. Let's do that first. Am I right? Haha! Endela! It says on the end here. If you're not familiar with Spyderco boxes, this is what a Spyderco box looks like. I have a lot of Spyderco boxes at this point. Oh, sweet. Alright, so this is the Endela. Now, if you know me, you'll know that the Endela is not really a knife that, in general, is super up my alley, because it is a backlock, and it's made of plastic. But, as backlocks go, and as this kind of series of knives go, with the Delica, and the Endura, and the Dragonfly, and all that, I've heard a couple of people now say that the Endela is one of their favorites in the range. Even when I met up with Thomas Moore not too long ago, we talked about the Endela a little bit. And I've only handled one once, I think. It was when I had that Cut Club box that came from Cutlery Shop. And when I went through it, there were 20 knives in there, and this was one of them. And I feel like I remember thinking the ergos were nice, but it's been a while. And so I'm just intrigued to check this one out. But this variant is, in my opinion, the best one that currently exists for this knife. When you see this color of plastic on this series of knives, it typically means K390. I'm pretty sure all of the K390 ones get this color. I happen to really like this color too. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of like the color of my Niche Designs shirt that I've worn a few times in videos with all the steels on it. Pretty cool color. These are out of Seiki City, Japan. It's a Salglasser design, and yeah, the steel you'll see marked on here, if that'll show up. It's K390. K390 is a really good steel. K390 is, I would say, most directly comparable to CPM 10V. So that's a really good thing, because 10V is astronomically good in terms of how steels are ranked, in my opinion. This does feel good. This feels nice in my hand. So still, it's a backlock, and it's made of plastic. This, I don't think, is going to be a knife that I see myself falling in love with and finding myself hunting for one after I borrow this from Blake. But I'm glad I'm getting to check it out, and that is a screaming sharp edge. That's really nice. Yeah, if I were to get an FRN backlock knife right now, I feel like I'd maybe get the Native 5, because I really liked the Native 5 that I did have. Although I probably wouldn't like an FRN Native 5 as much as I liked the fluted carbon one, so it's like, why would I do that? I might as well just get another fluted carbon one if that's what I really want. But I don't know. We'll see how I like this. This is a good size knife too. It fills my hand really well. It's comfortable. All right, so that is the Endela in K390, and it's pretty cool. I really do dig this color. I feel like that helps as well. It's got steel that I love. It's in a color that I like. I think it's cool they put the black clip on it. It's just like I look at backlocks as like tools, right? And all my knives are tools to an extent, but backlock knives especially, because I also like to play with my knives. And with backlocks, I just don't really. I mean, you can manipulate them one-handed, right? I can slow roll it out, then I can knock it down, and like, it'll work. But I like to Spidey flick. And this one, I did it, right? But that's not enjoyable like it is Spidey flicking PM2. I was using a little wrist. Let's see if I can do it no wrist. Ooh, it's close. Oh, I got it. Okay. So I think maybe the size is helping it a little bit. But there's a different sensation to the way that this knife operates compared to compression lock knives from Spyderco or frame lock knives from Spyderco. And so it's just less compelling in general to me. But I look at them as like my Salt, Warncliffe, the Salt 2 that I have. That knife is like a dedicated like tackle box knife at this point. And like I have no reason to get rid of it. It's perfectly waterproof, like great knife for being in a tackle box. When I'm fishing and I have a job to do of getting the hook out of a fish or processing the fish that I just caught or whatever it is, I don't need that knife to fidget well. I need to do a job. But for knives that I EDC, I kind of demand that they fidget well. So I don't know. Maybe I'll fall in love with this and it'll be like, this will be my designated tucked into my survival kit knife or something. I don't know. We'll see. But there's the Endela. So probably talked about that way more than I meant to. All right. Next, let's get to the GB1. I guess my wife's phone is in here. All right. This is the Gale Bradley 1. I, of course, have the Gale Bradley 2. I would grab it, but I don't even see it in my knife case. Where did I put it? Oh, I do see it. Never mind. It's in there, but it's too far. I have the Gale Bradley 2, and I have done all of my videos on it. I did an unboxing of first impressions. I did a full review. I also did a video of the install of the scales on it because it's wearing Sharp Dress Knives scales, which today I had a really fun conversation with Sharp Dress Knives. There's some exciting stuff on the horizon for the channel. He's sending me a really exciting set of scales. I'm going to be doing kind of a knife modding series of a specific knife, and I'll let it be. I'll say just that for now, but really cool dude. Anyway, so it's wearing Sharp Dress Knife scales and a deep carry pocket clip. This one, I think Blake said, is stock, other than it does have a deep carry clip installed. And I've been curious about the Gale Bradley 1 ever since I got my first Gale Bradley 2, because the one I have now is actually my second Gale Bradley 2. And when I got the first one, I liked it. I ended up selling it, obviously, because now I have a second one, but I was into it. I dug it, and it just made me curious how the 1 was. Like, if there's a 2, that means there's a 1, and I had never handled one, and this is the first time I'm ever handling one. So I'm curious to see how it compares. I'll probably do a comparison video between the two, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think they're actually wearing the same clip too, which is funny. So this is a black Lynch clip. I think this knife looks pretty cool. I do think overall the lines of the GB2 are a little more attractive to me. They're both kind of funky looking knives, but the GB2 is just like, it's one of the best like working knives that I have. In fact, I did a video on what knife I was going to carry for Christmas Day to open a bunch of packages and stuff, and the Gale Bradley was the GB2 was the knife that I picked, because that knife is just kind of a workhorse. I love it in that way. So this one's still in CPM M4 and Spyderflicks well. These ergos are interesting because I feel like there's kind of a primary grip up here, and that's kind of where it feels like my fingers are maybe supposed to land, but then there's this choil up here, which is different from a typical Spyderco forward finger choil. It's like, I don't know, the way it's built in just seems different, but that's real comfortable. The handle also feels wider this way to me, so it kind of feels a little bit more hand-filling, although up here, when I'm pinched up on that forward choil spot, it feels like a little bit more slender. So definitely a different feeling knife. I think it's also a little thicker. Interesting. So yeah, I've seen a bunch of photos of these for a long time. I've just never even had one in hand. The action feels identical, honestly, to my GB2. The placement of everything and like how I'm holding on to it is a little different, but if I really try to isolate like the way the blade is riding and the lockup and all that, feels pretty much the same. Lock bar access, still kind of a bummer on this one, which makes sense. It came before the GB2. But that's one of the gripes a lot of people have with the GB2 is, come on, this lock bar access in here. It's just not a very wide spot to get your finger into and to disengage that lock. But I mean, it can be done, obviously. And a lot of people mod that on the GB2. They'll increase the clearance in here a little bit. I still haven't done that on mine. I need to find my Dremel. I have no idea where it is. Maybe when I find that, then I'll tackle that project or something. Because at this point, it seems like the GB2 is going to kind of be one of those long-term keeper knives, I think. All right, so yeah, interesting. The blade shape is similar, but not the same. It's wearing a great edge. It looks like this has been sharpened. It's got a mirror edge on it. I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, Blake did tell me he had sharpened it. Not 100% positive, but yeah, I've never seen Spyderco do a mirrored edge like that. It's a really good edge. So, thank you so much to my buddy Blake. He will not be linked down below because, respectfully, he doesn't want to be, and that is totally fine. His Instagram isn't like a knife Instagram. It's his family, and he's a cool dude, and I totally get that. So I appreciate it, dude. And some of you may know Blake from the Millie Club. He's pretty active in there. So anyway, we've got these two to check out. I'll be doing reviews on each of them, and yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I'll be doing a comparison as well between this and the GB2 because I think that's worth doing while I've got them both here. So be on the lookout for those if you're interested in them, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks, everybody.